We are continuing the chapter BRS, that is Bank Reconciliation Statement. We are continuing the same problem, same pattern of problems, that is we started with debit balance as per cash book. So, we are going to work out problems under the same section. So, I hope you all have learned the format of bank reconciliation. Though you don't by heart the entire items, you must have an idea which item to be added, which item to be deducted. So, you just go through the format 4-5 times so that you will get an idea of why these particular items are being added, why the other items are being deducted. So, now what we are going to do is illustration question, illustration number 1 given on page number 12.12. Okay, they are starting with bank column of the cash book showed a debit balance. That means we know that a cash book usually will be having a debit balance, because cash book is just like a cash account. So, cash account means it is an asset account, and assets will normally have a debit balance. So, we are usually having a debit balance for a cash book, and in this particular question the bank statement, that is the passbook, showed a credit balance. For passbook it will be having a credit balance always, whereas for cash book it will be having a debit balance, that you must remember. So, here both the balances are given. So, in the format we started with debit balance as per cash book or balance as per cash book. Though we don't specify it as debit balance, it is understood that cash book will be having a debit balance. So, we are starting the format with balance as per cash book, but here we have balance as per passbook also. So, you can either start with cash book balance, or if you want you can start with passbook balance also. In these type of questions, if they don't specify like you have to start with cash book or you have to start with passbook balance, if they don't specify that, you can start with either of these two, that is up to you. Okay. So, in the format we are starting with this one, cash book balance. So, if you are starting with passbook balance, what will happen? All those items that we added in the format you will have to less deduct, and all those items that we deducted you will have to add. It is the reverse you will have to do, but now I am starting with balance as per cash book itself. Okay, then the items of discrepancies or the reasons for differences between cash book and passbook balances are given. These are the items which we are going to add or less. Okay, so we will draw the format first. It is as on 31st March 2019. The date is given. So, you draw the format first of all. Bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. We have particulars and 2 amount columns. And now we are starting with balance as per cash book. The amount here is 49,000, which you can write in the outer column. Now, we will see what are the items to be added and deducted. The first one, checks of Shyam 9,000 and of Mohan 15,000 deposited in the bank but were not collected up to 31st March. Okay, checks deposited, not collected. You have the same item in the format. What did we do there? Checks deposited, not collected means there is no change in the bank passbook. But since it was deposited into the bank, what did we do? We expected an increase in the bank account. So, we have added it in the, we means the firm is maintaining cash book. So, we have added in the cash book, whereas there is no change in the passbook balance. So what should we do? We are starting with cash book balance. So you can make only changes to cash book balance. This is an item to be deducted, less item. The same item you have in the format, less item, the first one, checks deposited, not collected or credited. So you leave some space to write the add items, and then altogether you have 6 transactions. So you leave 4-5 lines here, enough space you leave, and then you write less. Checks deposited, not collected. The amount is, okay, we have 2 checks, 9,000 and 15,000, that you can just add and take 15 plus 9, 24,000 you can write here. The next one, Ramesh, a debtor. Debtor means person from whom we have to get money or receive money. He deposited a check of 8,000 directly into bank. So passbook will increase. So cash book also now we have to add. All these items are there in your format, direct items. So add checks deposited directly into bank. Amount is 8,000. Then the next one, bank had credited 500 as interest which was not recorded in the cash book. Okay, bank is crediting the account means bank is putting money into your account. I had told you in previous video, when you withdraw money from ATM, the message which you people are getting in your phone is your account has been debited. So debited means money is being taken from the account, whereas bank is being credited means you are getting money into your account. So bank has credited your account means passbook will increase. There is no change in the cash book. So now we have to add it in the cash book. The amount is 500. So you can write it as it is interest, no? Bank credited interest. Okay, so you write interest allowed. Interest allowed and interest charged both are different. Interest allowed by bank, the amount is 500. Then we have check of 10,000 issued not yet presented. The same item we have in the format. Check issued not yet presented for payment. What should we do? We should add, because when we issue a check, immediately in the cash book the firm will less this particular item. Okay, whereas it's not presented to the bank, there is no change in the passbook. So this is the situation now. So this is an item to be added. So check issued not yet presented will add now. $10,000. Then we have bank debited account by 6,000. Okay, debiting the bank account means taking from your account because bank has paid insurance premium as per standing instruction. That means as per the instructions of the firm, of our firm, the bank is making payment. So bank passbook will go down, cash book also we have to less. So this is an item to be deducted. The amount is 6,000. Bank paid insurance premium you can write. The same transaction you can write here also. I mean the question itself you can write. Okay, all these you write within brackets because these are less items. Then bank debited the account by 100 being bank charges. Bank charges means it's a commission taken by the bank. So it is being taken from your account. Bank passbook will go down. Cash book also we have to less. What's the item? Bank charges. Bank charges amount is 100. So less 100. Now what you have to do is add your inner column. Inner column means the add items we'll add first, that is 18,500. We can write that's a total of added items which we will add with this 49, and then you have to less one item. What you have to less is the total of the deducted items, which is 30,100. You can extend this line. Okay, always draw a small line in the inner column before you write the totals in the outer column. Okay, this is how you have to write. Now add 18,500 and 49,000. From that you deduct 30,100. So finally the answer is 37,400, for which you can write balance as per passbook. Double line this figure. Okay, so that's the final answer. Now you can see that 37,400 in your question. Just read the question once again. Did you see this figure as bank passbook or bank statement showed credit balance of 37,400? So in these type of questions where we have balance as per passbook and balance as per cash book, both you have in the question, you can either start with cash book balance or with passbook balance. That is up to you when both figures are given. And if they don't specify, if they ask you to start with cash book balance itself, you must do accordingly, or else it's up to you with which balance you have to start with. Now, and you can check whether your answer is correct. In these questions you can check, because finally the answer will be written as balance as per passbook and 37,400 you got. The same thing you have to check whether the same figure is given in your question. Here in this question the passbook balance is 37,400, meaning is your answer is correct. Suppose you started with passbook balance, then your final answer will be 49,000, that is balance as per cash book. So you have to immediately check in the question whether balance as per cash book is given as 49,000. If it is something else, that means your answer is wrong, you have to recheck. So in these type of questions where both balances are given, you have a chance to check whether your answers are correct. You can check yourself. Then illustration number 3, that's on page number 12.13. This was illustration 1. Okay, the next is illustration 3, where cash book showed a bank balance of 12,000. Within brackets they have written debit. That means the same like this. Debit balance as per cash book means it is the favorable balance, because cash book is normally having a debit balance. And you have to do BRS. Okay, we will draw the format and all. We have altogether 7 transactions, 7 or 8? 7. Okay, so we will draw the format first. Always you must write the heading with the date, then you must draw the format using your scale and pencil, because all these are needed for accountancy. The format, everything is needed. What's the date given there? 31st March 2019. Okay, so the first item given there is, out of total checks of 10,000 issued, checks aggregating means totaling 3,000 were presented in March. We are doing, the dates are important, so we are doing BRS as on 31st March 2019. So out of 10,000, 3,000 were presented in March. What is that transaction we learned which we add normally? That is check issued, not yet presented for payment. That's the item we are adding. So here 3,000 were presented in March, and we are doing in the month of March. That means 3,000 is being presented. You don't have to consider that. What we have to consider is checks issued not yet presented. Then checks aggregating 4,000 were presented in April. See, we are doing it on 31st March. So, we have to consider what all transactions took place in the month of March. Now, 4,000, though it is presented only in the month of April. So, now when we do in the month of March, this 4,000 is not yet presented. Understood? Then we have a remaining balance of check which have not yet been presented. So, when you write check issued not yet presented for payment, what will be the amount of check? Out of 10,000, 3,000 presented, that was in the month of March itself. So, that you do not have to consider. 4,000 was presented but only in the month of April. We are doing in the month of March. That time that 4,000 also not presented. So, when you write the amount, what should be the amount? It should be 7,000, that is 10,000 minus the presented figure is just 3,000. Understood? Because 4,000 was presented only in April. So, you can write now, okay, you start the balance as per cash book and all. Balance as per cash book. The amount in the outer column, that is 12,000. Add checks issued. When you write the spelling of check, be very careful. It is CHEQUE. Don't write CHECK. The meaning is different. Checks issued but not presented. The amount is 7,000, that is 10,000 minus 3,000. Then the next one, out of total check of 5,000 deposited, checks aggregating 1,500 were credited in March and balance were credited in April. Okay, which item is this? Check deposited but not credited, or but not collected or cleared. All these you can name it, or all these you can refer. Now, which is the item here, or what should we do with this item? You remember the format, the same item you have, check deposited, not cleared or not collected, that is an item which we deducted. So, here this is the item we have to less or deduct, but how much will you deduct? Should we deduct entire 5,000? No need, because out of 5,500 was credited in March. We are doing in the month of March. So, what we have to take is check deposited, not credited or not collected. So, 1,500 they have collected, that too in the month of March. But balance checks, it was credited, but that is only in the month of April. So, when you are doing this BRS in the month of March, that balance amount, that is 5,000 minus 1,500, that is 3,500 is the amount which you have to write as check deposited, not yet collected or not yet credited. The months are very important in this chapter. You have to see when did they present or when did they credit the amount. Understood? So, here this is item to be deducted. So, leave some space here. Altogether we have 7 transactions. So, leave some space to write the add items and then you write less, that is check deposited but not credited, but the amount is not 5,000, it is 5,000 minus what we credited in March is 1,500. So, balance only we have to less, that is 3,500. Item to be deducted, so within brackets you write. Then bank has debited 100 as bank charges. What should we do with bank charges? Less it. So, bank charges here we will less. The same item we have in the previous question, so I am not explaining it again. So bank charges, what's the amount? 100. Format also we have this bank charges, that's a commission. Credited 200 as interest. What do you mean by crediting your account, adding it in your bank account? So passbook went up, now your cash book also you have to add. So add that amount of 200, that is interest. The next one, bank had reversed bank charges 200 wrongly debited earlier. Okay, we know that in transaction number, transaction number 4, bank has debited bank charges. Debiting means bank has taken amount from our account. That means passbook went down. But now they reversed the bank charges, means they have put the amount back into your account because that was a wrong debit. They accidentally took the amount from your account, so now they have put the amount back. So what is the situation here, or what is happening to your account? The account will increase, the passbook will increase. So cash book also we have to add. The amount is 200. So this is an item to be added. Yes, here we can write bank charges reversed, or you can write the sentence as it is given in the question, 200. You don't have to worry about what to be written in particulars column, that anything you can write. Anything means question itself you can write. What you have to consider is whether particular figures are to be added or deducted. But particulars column also you have to write, you can't leave it blank. Then bank paid insurance premium 2000, but it was recorded as 200 in cash book. Okay, bank paid insurance premium. So immediately passbook will go down. By how much? By 2000. But in your cash book we have written only how much? Here this was when this was going down by 2000. But here the cash book we are deducting only by 200. So these two must be same. Now we have to make these two equal. So what should we do? Can we make changes to passbook? No. We started with cash book balance. So cash book we have to bring down. Understood? How much will you reduce? Already passbook we reduced by 2000. Cash book we reduced only by 200. Now to make these two equal, you have to less cash book again by 1800. Understood? Only 200 we deducted first. The balance, that is 2000 minus 200, 1800 we have to deduct now. So less bank paid insurance premium. Sorry, this is items to be added. Bank paid, did I write it on add section? Okay, just write it under less items, bank paid insurance premium, bank paid insurance premium, the amount is, okay, what you have to less now is 1800. So less 1800. The last one, there is undercast, that is receipt side of the cash book was undercasted by rupees 500. That's a new item for you. Now cash book you have learnt before, which is the receipt side of a cash book. The debit side, the left side or debit side is called the receipt side, and the receipt side is undercast, means it is showing a lesser balance of rupees 500. That's the question. Now cash book we know that it is normally having a debit balance. Debit balance means debit side will be more always for a cash book. Debit balance means debit side is more. Okay, so receipt side here is less. Receipt side means the debit side is less. If the debit side is less, entire cash book will be having a lesser balance. Why? Because cash book is normally having a Cash book normally having a debit balance, that means on the receipt side or left side we are writing the debit balance. Debit balance means debit side will be more. Okay. So cash book is normally having a debit balance. So if the debit balance is less or if the receipt side is less, entire cash book will be having a lesser balance. So here this is the situation. Receipt side is undercast. So receipt side is less. The debit side is less. So cash book will be having a lesser balance. So what should we do with the passbook? Passbook we can't bring down. This is the passbook situation now. We have to add cash book because changes can be made only to cash book. So this particular item to be added, add 500. Understood? Since receipt side is less, cash book will be having a lesser balance, whereas passbook there is no change. So what we have to do is add your cash book. We can make changes only to cash book. So add cash book. This particular item, that is 500 rupees, you have to add now. Undercast of receipt side of cash book. Amount is 500. Now you add the added items and draw a small line in the inner column. Write the total of add items in the outer column. The amount is, you must add and take 7,900. Don't simply copy from the textbook. You must do calculations. Here also less items, you just add and take the total of these three 500 plus 1,800 plus 100. So total is 5,400, which you write within brackets. Now you find the amount in the outer column, that is 14,500, which will be written as balance as per passbook. Understood? Here do we have the passbook balance in the question, then only you can check whether the answer is correct. Here we don't have passbook balance, so we can't check the answer. So make sure you have written the transactions correctly. That means add and less items you write carefully when you write for the first time, because we can't check whether the answer is correct in these type of questions where we have only one balance. Okay. So now you would have got an idea know how to do the balance as per cash book. When you start with balance as per cash book, already two exercise questions, two practical problem questions we worked out. One more is there. I am not doing it, but I will just explain that question. That's on page number 12.45, practical problem number 8, page number 12.45. There also they are starting with balance as per cash book, that is the debit balance they have given, debit balance as per cash book. Then the second item given there is check issued for 30,000, out of which 24,000 were presented for payment. What you have to take is check issued, not yet presented. So here not yet presented figure will be the balance, that's the balance 6,000. And what should we do with this item? Add it. Check issued, not yet presented, 6,000 to be added. So you must do this question in your notebook. I am not doing it, I am just explaining this so that you can do it in your book. Then checks of 8,400 deposited in the bank but not been credited by the bank, that is check deposited, not credited or not collected. What should we do? Less. How much should be less? 8,400. Then also a check of 3,000 entered in cash book on 30th March but was banked only on 3rd April. The same transaction they mentioned in a different way. The second sentence of the third transaction, its meaning is same as first sentence, that is check deposited, not yet collected or not yet credited. Here it is mentioned like check was deposited on 30th March but we have banked it only on 3rd of April. So check deposited, not collected, the same situation there also, we have to less that 3000 also. Okay. Though it was banked, the month you have to see, that is only in the month of April. So that is not collected in the month of in the month of March, it is an item not collected. Then check from Suresh deposited in the bank was dishonored and advice was received only on 2nd April. Okay. Check dishonored, you remember what will happen if the check is being dishonored or check is being returned back by the bank. The passbook will go down. So cash book also you have to less. So less this item to 400. Then bank charges we know that passbook will go down, cash book also less 120. Then debtors deposited 3000 in the bank account, but the intimation was received only on 2nd April. Okay, debtor deposited into bank account, so bank passbook will increase, cash book also we have to add. So add that 3000. So that's how you have to do. So work out practical problem number 8 in your notebook.